Sorry, Reese. Sorry, Reese. Good morning. Hey, Decimus. Beautiful singing. I don't know about, but I like you. Hi. How are you? I hope you're doing good. You know what I thought about for these morning streams that I think I need to think about a little bit is I'm not normally in my morning, like when I do my list and everything, it's a little bit more productive. And I think that's because maybe in some way I'm like moving towards, subconsciously, right? Moving towards a less authentic engagement. Good quality Dyson fan back there. You mean this one? Yeah. It's really nice. It keeps, I do the warm heat and I sleep like this and it warms me up. And in the summers, like my room gets so hot and then I use it for cooling. But yeah, I don't know if it's just that I'm like getting really distracted due to my ADHD. But I'm definitely not able to balance the same way as normally, you know. Man, I can't even hold one thought. But yeah, we're just gonna do our to-do list and get it going. Another day, another stream. Chillin' bajillin'. Let's see here. Ah. Nice. Happy Saturday. Today is the 21st. Oh my goodness, it's almost Christmas. It's crazy. Thank you, Lovin. That's nice. I like doing them. Really, free snakes? Is it a struggle? Thank you for the follow, Dudley. Hey, Spamfish. Good morning. Why don't I do gaming? I will in the evening. In the evening now we're doing this sort of, there's this World of Warcraft onlyfangs guild where you can play World of Warcraft on hardcore, which means if your character dies, like you die, you have to restart from the very beginning. And so me and Athene are playing WoW in onlyfangs, and we just started yesterday. So today I'll set up the stream downstairs so that it actually has audio and a camera and stuff like that. So it's not like yesterday, but yesterday was a bit of a scuff setup. But I'll be doing that in the later today. That's nice, free snakes. That is nice. Yeah, I'll be live later today, Lovin. Really? Here the weather is sunny, actually. I'll show you in a bit. miserable weather in UK? Why do you need to distract yourself though, free snakes? Can't you just, instead of drinking alcohol, isn't it possible to kind of just sit in the moment? Do you ever do that? Just close your eyes and sit in the moment without any concept or without any thought of what should or should not be, or meditate? What do you guys do when you meditate? What is your experience when you meditate? I'm curious. You always fall asleep. You can't meditate, your mind is way too busy. It's definitely a practice, I think. You know what? Like, for me, I've always had sort of like a focusing problem, right? You can't bear silence. Interesting. I think I can understand a little bit. Now, I've always been someone that is all over the place, but I've never really been someone who's in my head, if that makes sense. Like, you can be all over the place and all the input is external and you're almost like a dog, you know, reactive to your environment everywhere and anyhow without thinking too much. And there is a bliss in that, for sure. And then I think this past year has been a very different year for me, with a lot of experiences that I've never had before. And within that, I think my confidence and like my how I am as a person has changed a lot. In some ways good, and in some ways not so great. Although I think it's part of growth. But I can very much more resonate with people who are in their head, because now I experience it for the first time in my life, really what that can be like, and how it hijacks one's mind from even seeing things for what they are. So I can understand. I was gonna say and see if I had any advice, but I don't know if I do. I think I'll think about it. Man, my hair is so crazy looking. It's been crazy looking ever since the charity stream. I need a shower. Like, I need to wash my hair. You overthink a lot, it's annoying at times. I think what has been interesting to observe is the reason for my overthinking. I don't know if this is for you guys, but the reason for my overthinking inherently comes from a belief that I never used to have in my life before. And that feeling is inherently not being enough, like not loving myself on a core level. And like, okay, like I've never really fully loved myself, but I've also never really disliked myself. But like now it's at a point where I don't dislike myself, but there is a part of me that doesn't feel like it's enough. Although I will say, like the last couple of days, I don't have that feeling so much due to certain experiences, which has helped me a lot. But I think that like struggling with an inherent insecurity and an inherent fear, right, can really fester at the core of who you are, if that makes sense. And if you're driven by this fear, then you can never really get rid of it. So one thing to really meditate on, or like to think about or reflect on, or whatever word you want to use, is what are you afraid of? And if it's many things, uncover what those are. Are you afraid of what other people think? Are you afraid of what other people will say? Are you afraid of losing something? And ironically, the fear, when it drives us, kind of like works in a cycle where if you're fearful in your decisions, it will eventually lead to that anyway, because you're not being authentic with yourself. You think your mind is related to wanting to be prepared for the worst, but okay, let's go deeper. Why do you want to prepare yourself for the worst? Like, what has happened in the past that was so traumatic and so painful that you just cannot let that barrier go because you don't want to get back to that one spot again where something was bad? And like when we're children, right, that bad thing can be something that isn't necessarily like super bad, but it was bad enough at that point in your life to build these walls, so to speak. And I'm not talking about walls towards other people, but just walls within yourself, because if you're constantly preparing for the worst, can you really let go and surrender to the moment and be authentic? You know what I mean? Yeah, like kind of like a being stuck in the past thing. But by being stuck in the past, you're neglecting the moment and neglecting the future. Everything we have is just now. Right now, I'm spending this time with you, and you're spending this time with me, and that's all that exists. Everything else is a concept. As fucked as that sounds. So what are you gonna do in the now? You always have power and decision making in the now if your awareness allows you to. If you're caught up in your head, then you don't have it. Hey Jarza, hey Deluxe, how are you? Did I have fun with World of Warcraft yesterday? Yeah, I would say decently. I was not very prepared for the stream, so I feel like my mood wasn't at my best. But I had a good time. I mean, I always have a good time with the theme, so it was just a bit, the setup was very wonky. Like if you saw my stream, it was just there was like no sound and everything, and when we were playing, like I was literally playing with like the boom mic in front of my screen the whole time. So it's just the setup was a bit scuffed, but it's because we just didn't have time. And so I wonder why I was annoyed. I think maybe I'm like heading into my PMS, like my hormonal cycle. But it was still fun. Well, Spamfish, you are carrying your 8-year-old self around. It's just how it works. And it's not a 30-year-old like rotting corpse or whatever. It is, you know how you have like the left and the right hemisphere of your brain, both of them work in different ways. One is analytical and more rational and, you know, like this very conceptual thinking, and that tends to be the more dominant one in men. And then you have the creative one, the emotional one, the one that is yeah, your emotional part of yourself, essentially. And what a lot of and this one tends to be more dominant in women, although it's obviously not never black and white, depending on how you grow up and what gets stimulated. But that emotional part of your brain, like in order for you to experience harmony in the now, you have to have a connection and understanding between these two halves. And they're almost like two different people. And there's also these experiments where if you disconnect one part of your brain, like the other will answer differently than you would if it wasn't disconnected, you know? So it is truly like the wiring and the connections and the patterns and everything is different. And we have to almost treat it as such. One thing Athene does, which maybe sounds crazy to people, is like he introduces the different halves to each other as like two different people within himself. And something that I notice in some people is they suppress their emotional part a lot, and they're like very strong in their cognitive brain and very dominant in their cognitive brain. And the cognitive brain is quite it's not like you don't have feelings, but you're a bit disconnected from the feeling self. And so you can have very strong reasoning and strong ideas of like, it should be like this, it should be like that. But then like your inner child, which is maybe lives in this emotional part, doesn't understand. It's not making the same connections as your other part of the brain. And so you're leaving it behind. And it's up to you to be your own parent, essentially. And if a child doesn't understand something, right, it is up to you to explain it to them in a way in which it resonates with them. And when you're speaking to your emotional side, the connections you make cognitively aren't always the ones that are going to function for your emotional brain. And if it was that simple, you would not be experiencing the cognitive dissonance that you have. Like you wouldn't struggle, right? Like if it was just very simple of explaining things in the patterns that you observe it cognitively, then you would never have issues. But you do, because the child is almost like this baby that needs to be nurtured, and it doesn't matter if you're 60 years old or 15. You have to take care of it as if it is a child, and you gotta talk to it as if it is a child, and you gotta work through reflections and helping it make the connections on an emotional level. When you make connections on an emotional level, and the inner child understands why something is what it is on an emotional level, you can move on. You experience the harmony and you can let it go. And that is sort of the inner work. Hey Arvanode, thank you so much for the raid. That's so kind of you. I hope you're doing well. Hey Trazin. We were just talking about the brain. And like how to look after yourself. What's Athene's plan with World of Warcraft hardcore? Brains are fun. I've held a human one once. Oh my god, really, Arma? What? No way! That's crazy! I hope you had a good stream. Thank you so much for the raid. If you need to go do
Overno's
stuff,
raiding my
don't worry
stream.
about
Bought a crew of
that.
11
You
trying to
can-
make
but you're
me
also
scream.
always, of
The
course,
hoping I'll
welcome to
crumble
hang
under
around
pressure.
here.
But I'm the charity
What did you
queen.
do?
My comedy's a treasure. Got more rules than I know what to do
Ooh.
with. Chats kissing up, my face is turning bluish. I'll handle
How do I
this
give a
raid with my
shout-out?
usual flair. Drop some bars, I'll leave 'em more staring. Oh, then I'm raiding, but they didn't break me. I'm a Roman,
I'm
I'm
such a
never
noob.
sick. You gonna roast their socks off, make 'em act till they pee. This raid's gonna be lit, just wait and see.
There we go.
Got 11 new fences in
I
my
often
check.
feel I had such a bad
Gonna
trauma,
make 'em
it's
famous,
always
leave 'em
gonna define
feeling
me, like
spent.
my synapses are that broken, but then it's like, that's the trauma talking. Yeah, indeed, it's the trauma talking. For sure. But of course, like, your experiences kind of like make up who you are, but what's beautiful about the brain is it's neuroplastic. You can change the neural pathways in which whatever experience or whatever connection you've been making through your life, through sort of reiterations and work, because it's almost like walking down a path, like, you know, a field, like a hay field, or like a path in the woods. If it's filled with grass, like, it grows there, and if you walk on it once, like, the grass isn't really gonna take damage, but if you start walking like a certain path several times, grass isn't gonna grow there anymore, and the path will start forming. And it's the same with the paths and the connections in your brain. So if you have a certain path that tends to lead to negative thinking, that tends to like really amplify and further strengthen a certain belief within your brain, it is possible to retrain it and go a different path, but it requires you to actively do so in the now and do it several times, not just one time and then you change. Of course, one time and then you change can happen, but usually those sort of strong shifts and strong changes is a form of like a very strong emotional moment in itself, usually trauma. But that's kind of like what it is, and that's why it's so important to really be gentle with yourself and not judge yourself, not be angry at yourself, and if you are angry at yourself, think about why. And like, there's this exercise that is really good, because a lot of the behavior you have that is like not good behavior is your inner child either throwing a tantrum or just knowing what it knows best. It doesn't know any differently, and it's up to you as the parent of yourself to kind of redirect that into a positive direction, and because it can't help itself. Good morning, Mogulix. Mogulix, oh my god, Mogulix, I dreamt about you. I dreamt about you. I dreamt that we met in Boston and you said, hey, it's my birthday, and then we went for a walk. And then we met like one of these Tate brothers. Like, why? I don't even watch them. It's okay, Spamfish. Oh shit, I didn't notice. I'm sorry, Mogulix. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for the welcome. I mean, these are interesting concepts, and I wish I learned these things when I was younger, to be honest. But like, the more I think about it as well, like the more I see it and the more it's in my awareness, the more capable I am of like taking control and nurturing that part. But it's difficult, because when you are triggered, or when you're in a state of sort of fight or flight, or when you're like hijacked, your amygdala, that a certain part of your brain is just completely hijacked, it's extremely difficult to redirect that mode, especially if you are an overthinker, or if you're someone that struggles with deep trauma, etc. Like, it can just take over in those moments, and then it's really important to just allow yourself to feel what you feel, but try and stay away from rationalizing why you feel. Like, allow the emotion to be, but try to stay away from the thought patterns that go like, this is happening because this, and start making those connections. Because when you also don't judge yourself for doing it, because it's gonna happen. But when you start rationalizing, that's your cognitive part of the brain kind of like coming in and trying to make sense of everything the emotional part is feeling, but it's doing it again, like the paths that it knows if it's all just reactive. And so you're just further strengthening those paths within the brain that just are there already. And so the change isn't really going to occur. The change really occurs from stepping into a sort of level of awareness and stepping back and being like, hey, everybody stop in this room. Just stop. And like, let's take it slow and then question, is that really so? Yes, at some point you have to make sense of things so you can take appropriate action. But if the path that, like if you're making sense is biased, if you're making sense of things is just a fuel on a fire of the emotional baby self, like, okay, I'll give an example. Some parents have a child that is throwing a tantrum and the kid wants Coca-Cola and donuts and stuff because it's had it before, and like, children can't really decide for themselves what is good for them, but like, say the child really wants those things because they're addicted to the sugar and they are craving that sugar high. As a parent, you don't just like, what you shouldn't do at least is you shouldn't just give that stuff to your kid as soon as they ask for it. You don't give your child everything it asks for. Your emotional brain is kind of similar, and it's up to your cognitive one to not just give it everything that it wants. And sometimes if a child is very destructive, like, it will know no bounds. Like, it will say things it doesn't mean, it will want things that are not good for it. Like, there's that rationality isn't there. And if the cognitive part isn't kind of like sometimes putting a stop to that, then it will just snowball into like a bigger thing. And eventually, like, that child will become very overweight. And so why is it that the parent doesn't step in? Why is it that the parent doesn't say, like, stop and hold their ground? It's because the child can emotionally manipulate and emotionally push so much the trigger points of the cognitive, that the cognitive is just like, it gives up in redirecting the child into the good place. And so maybe the connections you're making in your cognitive mind aren't like necessarily the best ones, because it can be like, oh, she really wants these things. And if that's the connection you make, then you're not thinking about the bigger picture, Children can't decide what's good for them. I didn't know you were far-right conservative. I'm not far-right conservative. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the brain here and how it works. Yeah, Mogalix, I'm talking about the inner child and being a parent of that child. And it doesn't matter like if you're a 60-year-old person or if you're a 12-year-old person, you still always will have this dynamic inherently in your brain. And triple distance, it's not that children can't decide what's good for them or not, but your prefrontal cortex isn't developed until a certain age, and that's just science, my brother. And that part of the brain is responsible for analytical and conceptual thinking. So yeah, you have to control your emotions enough to keep clear reasoning and give enough time to think things through. Yeah, like, I don't know if it's so much about controlling your emotions, because maybe we're just using different words here to come to the same understanding. But a lot of what and the reason I don't like the word control is because a lot of people think they have to control their emotions, and that actually leads to them suppressing their emotions. They have a certain emotion and they're not giving space for that emotion. So the emotion piles up, but then the rational is like, no, we can't have this. There's like zero acceptance of the emotion, and there's zero processing of the emotion. And so it's like there's this inner judgment, this inner critic. The cognitive side is just kind of like dominating and taking over in a way that is not harmonious. And so what it happens is it pushes it down. But when you are, if you are not allowing for your emotions to be expressed, then that suppression, like, is inauthentic. It's not because like you are not just your cognitive brain, you are both, and both need to have space. You need to allow your emotional part of the brain to have space and express itself, because it has its place. As much as the cognitive needs to work together with the emotional to make sense of it in an accepting way. It cannot take control and push the other around. Just like this, the emotional can't just take control and like push all the reasoning away. So that's kind of like how but sometimes it's good to just feel. I think the control part, because it's like you can feel and you can feel anything, but it's the problem comes when you use the feeling to make an action. If I'm feeling a certain way, like let's say I want really like let's say this inner child, it's a very silly example, but with the donuts and the Coca-Cola, you should allow the child to feel. It wants to have those things. It will have the tantrum, like allow it to have it, but don't engage, like don't feed it. Don't give it the bad stuff, and also don't tell it, shut the fuck up, like no, you're not gonna have that. You can explain like, no, we're not gonna it's not good. You can explain to the child in a way in which it understands and can resonate with its emotions. But sometimes you just gotta give a child room, because sometimes the emotional flare-ups and the emotions that we have are just that. They're just emotions that need to come and be expressed, and that's that. It's like with babies, right? Like they're crying and they're trying to communicate something, but that's that, you know? Hey Lackey, how are you? I finished your bracelet. Spam. No, that's not what your brain does. It's what you're saying that your brain does. Alright? Have a good day at work, Lackey. Hope you have an amazing day at work. But yeah, so it's just interesting how it works. I was gonna say something else. Yeah, about this like emotional part, right? The problem also, it's not just about what you physically do. It's like, okay, you have an emotion and it's popping up and you allow yourself to feel it. But what you shouldn't allow, I guess, in order to either have it be a suppression of the emotion or in order for the emotion to completely take over and be destructive, is when you start doing that process of rationalizing why the emotion is there. Because then you're introducing not just experiencing the emotion, you're actually introducing a part of yourself that is trying to control and steer it and make sense of it. But that making sense of it is also just in hijack mode and isn't really truly making sense from an observative perspective. It's just strengthening the paths that are already there, if that makes sense. And those can sometimes, if we're struggling with trauma and stuff, not be good ones, and it can lead to poor decisions, it can lead to poor understandings that are not true, and that's how you become like an overthinker and stuck in your head, basically. Like you're constantly just, you're not truly processing your emotion because you're trying to rationalize your emotions, and so it's a form of suppression, I would say. So it's like you have the act, you can act upon your emotion in the objective reality, like here, or you can also act on your emotion in here by making certain connections. And like this is a practice. You just gotta practice to take a step away from that, to not rationalize in a certain direction. And if you notice, if you have the awareness, because most of the time this is reactive, it just happens. But if you practice your awareness and to take a step back and to observe yourself rather than being in it, then you can start seeing these things occur. And when you see it, it's very important in that moment to catch it and be like, wait a minute, why am I coming to this, let's just take a step back and is that really true, the thought that I'm having, from a very unbiased place, not a judgmental place of yourself where like, is it true, and is it true, so that it then just becomes an even further loop. It's just like, what is the truth? Where does this come from? Very unbiased questions of where the intent is to understand, and where the intent is to make sense of things, and where the intent is truly to understand yourself. And if you do that, and I would say a very important component to this is honesty. Being honest with yourself. And it's a tough one, because if you don't love yourself, if you have certain ideas about yourself, it's very easy to be very dishonest and be like, yeah, but I'm not worth it. This is happening because this person doesn't like me, because I'm not, like, the inherent feeling of not being worth it is just driving the connections that you make. But if you're truly honest with yourself and you understand that we're all equal, and you kind of step away from that bias, you might see like, wait a minute, maybe the person is doing this because, like, you start seeing it more for what it is. It's difficult. And every situation is different, so anyway, I'm yapping. The brain is very interesting. Okay. Second Athene. I am definitely not a second Athene, let me tell you that. That's something, like, I know him very, very well, and year after year after getting to know him better and better, he's a very interesting person, let's just say that. Do you have some kind of weekly schedule for work? Not really, Deluxe, because my weeks for work always look different, and like our plans for work always look different. Yeah, I don't know if it's an ADHD thing, and I don't know if it's like something that I should be doing, but I think I work best with flexibility, and it has been the case for all the years that I've been working. And so I kind of work flexibly with how it comes, and it has given me the best results so far. It's also really hard for me to keep to a structure for the sake of keeping to a structure, if that makes sense. But it's definitely something I should be trying, perhaps. It's just what tends to happen when I do that is I'm not tapping into the moments of focus that I have. Because it's like if I say like, oh, between this and then, on these days, I should be like focused on working. My brain might just not be in a flow state of work at that time, but maybe if I just allow myself the flexibility, there are times within the week where I am in that state and I get so much more done when I am, and I can just work like it just comes very naturally in a positive way, and I'm not limiting myself, if that makes sense. Wait, what? Imagine getting free money and being as casual as Morale about it. Wait, what free money? Oh shit! Sorry. Muggy Leagues, thank you. Thank you for the 60, that's huge, what the hell?
Remember when
Much
Athene told me to stop
appreciated,
subbing
man.
and
Puss
just
och kram.
donate instead? Well,
Damn,
here you go.
let me check.
A year's worth. Love you big time, ma. Less than 3 and also early.
My bad.
God, July. Less than 3, less than 3, less than 3, less than 3.
I'm a great streamer, right?
Oh, WikiLeaks, your sight to behold. A donation that's more than just
Okay,
gold.
thank you for the
Athene
60,
said, stop
Moglik thing.
subbing, you
Remember when Athene
heard.
told
So
me to
you
stop
dropped to
subbing
here's
and
worth
just
like a
donate
chat
instead? Well,
unheard.
here you go, a year's worth.
It's a
Love you big time,
donations
Morale.
free and
Less
charity
than
free
also
as
yearly.
Morale's world of
Yearly, good year.
wackiness.
Early.
Always the
Early
better.
good year. Yeah, good year.
Casual, early, and love
Thank
and
you.
triplicate. Not gathered your support is simply fantastic. From statistics to donations, you made the
problem with
switch.
too fluid
Your
schedules,
generosity
at least for me,
is a
I end up
glorious
half working all the
glitch.
time.
Girl's heart
I
is
don't know, like
full,
for me,
her
when I start to,
gratitude
like,
is
when I
true.
work,
To
the
you,
moments in
dear
which I work,
WikiLeaks,
I'm
sending the
really-
crew.
I'm really focused, like I'm laser sharp. But if
To
I'm
don't
not, like,
push
in
us
that
free,
mode,
let's celebrate
then I'm not
fiesta.
sharp at all. Sometimes I
Morale's
have
world
to
of
get stuff done and I'm not
wackiness.
sharp, and of course I will
Always
just
the
do it.
better.
But then the result is
Casual, early,
as
and
good
love and
as there.
triplicate. My galaxy your support is simply fantastic.
Wait. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I don't have the sound on. Oh shit, I'm in the WoW category. Sorry. There we go. If there is another donation, sub or whatever, the alert should be in the front over the to-do list. All right. I'm gonna weigh myself And then I think maybe we will try and make a layer on the painting. I got the easel. The easel, unless I just don't know how to install it properly, is too small. So I have to be careful when I paint this painting. Hey McMurd, how are you? When did I eat my last pizza? Oh, like a month ago, maybe? Or no, like maybe 3 weeks ago, because I have like a mini oven here and I tried to make pizza in it. It went okay. I tried twice. The first time it came out black, so I couldn't eat it. The second time it was okay, but I burnt the bottom. Alright. Let's see here. I'm gonna weigh myself first. Damn, 64.6. I gained. That's alright. It's like it doesn't fully clamp on under. You see what I mean? But maybe there's a way to fix that. No, I actually don't think so. Yeah, it's too small, so we can just rest on it. And because it doesn't clamp on to the top, I'll show you actually, then it can't be like, it just can't be solid. It doesn't have support. So, you see, it's just about too small. Here we got the names on the back. I'm still gonna add names. Here's the front. Maybe even further. Hey Kishin, hello. How are you? Paint everywhere time. Trying to not get paint everywhere time. Okay. We gotta get this painting done though. It's the charity painting. I still have the paint in my hair. I still have it in my hair. I haven't washed my hair since the charity stream, which I should be doing today, honestly. This kitchen setup is genius. What? What, like just having a portable stove? In my room? Because that's what it is, you know? Alright, let's see. have a glass jar. I need a glass jar to like clean the brushes with. Nice, right? Let's put this on the floor. Oh, no paper drip risk. Shit, I didn't think about that. I don't think I have anything to put. Ah. Let's put this. It's not big enough. It's better than nothing. Whatever. Better put a sheet above the rug, but then the sheet will have paint. Okay. Let's put a oh, we can put like an old weird towel. That's a smart idea. Easy clap. I don't have any newspaper. Wait, do we rather want? Which angle do you want? Okay. This is gonna be a disaster because the easel doesn't actually hold the painting. You know what I mean? It's just loosely on top. And you know, I was like, yeah, this is an expensive easel, so it's gonna be a good one. And it looks portable and stuff, so I was very happy. But then I realized when it arrived, it's expensive because it comes with all this paint and all these other things that I don't need. So that was unfortunate. I should tape the backside. Or maybe. I'm gonna have to hold the painting. Man, it's crazy. I'm doing layer after layer and it's not covering the text. It's just showing through. It's like not even helping a little bit. Not even a little bit. Worst easel ever. I almost feel like the easel is more trouble than it is help. So everyone, what are your plans this Saturday? I leveled up my character in WoW so that it's the same level as Athene again, with the same quests and everything. I mean, some of you might have seen it because I did it live, of course. But can you tape? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think it's gonna hold very strongly. I also think we may have to do like another layer of white or something. I'm not sure. Oops. Don't fall. Stressful painting. Are you drawing Charlie Brown? So it's the same yellow with your cat picture. Yeah, it is the same yellow as the cat picture, but I'm not gonna make the cat. We're gonna see what we make. I don't know yet. But let's see here. I wonder if I should just maybe put more white on the base. How are you doing? What's up today? How's life? Good to see you again. Okay, now with the second layer of white, it's actually covering the text a little bit better. You know what I'm missing? One of these bandanas that you have when you paint. Hey Abio. Abio, that's so nice of you. Tack så mycket. How sweet. Wait, should we do like an ombre? And the painting isn't at all like on this side of things. It's like what I'm doing now is the bottom and that's the top. I've never done that before. I don't know how that would work, but I mean, we're seeing how things go as we go along, right? What do you guys see? You see the lines. You like it backwards, Tupac style? Looks like when you shave the peel off of a lemon, right? Like somehow this ended up looking like quite cool. I did not expect that. What do you think of lemon peel? Oh my god! Whoops. Nobody saw that. Could be eggs behind the scramble also, or the sunshine. Yeah, could be. I almost don't want to ruin it. But, as with everything in life, things move on and things change. Things evolve. We are ever-changing beings after all. You and I. There's this sap green. I don't know. I don't want the sap green. We've got vermilion red. But I feel like red will be a little bit aggressive. I like the idea of a green, but not the sap green. Here's a light green. Let's try. Let's see what happens. This might be awful. It's so annoying that the easel doesn't actually hold. And now we're gonna, at the very bottom of that, we're gonna put a blue.
In busy cases, cry, and I nearly spat out my drink. What the actual threat was what first came to mind. Another subscriber, yeah, that's swell, but why does it feel like I'm trapped in Twin Channel? I'm the charity queen, raising cash for a cause. Why you sit there watching with your subscribe pause? You think you're hot crap with your little icon, but in my world.
I know that looks weird. Wait, what? Yeah, there's no clamp at the top. Hey, Invis. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, I'm gonna do a portrait on the background, Joomer. It will be one of our typical paintings. Hey for life, how are you? It's good to see you. Retract! It does look a bit weird, but I'm sure it'll come together. I think it'll come together. It has to. It has to. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. This is actually a salt sea in the desert. What? Salt sea? Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is not a camera tripod. I swear I bought it off of Amazon thinking, because it was expensive. But the reason it was expensive, I learned now as I received the package, was because the easel came with a lot of other things too. Like canvases and all other sorts of things. This is kind of weird. It's too dark now. Let's see if we can, what happens if we put white on it. It might ruin everything. Actually, I am wondering if the background of the painting shouldn't be whatever this is, like the whole painting. If I can make it like that. You know what this part looks like? It looks like the song we're listening to. Don't you agree? If the song we're listening to had a look, just without the yellow part. How do you make the color pink? Ah, it must be white and red, right? Trust the process. At least you can't see the names anymore. I don't know if you can see. Oh, whoops. Are we still live? Okay, I'll bring it to you. It looks so bad on camera, but it looks so cool in real life, I swear to God. Man, it looks awful on camera. Why does it look awful on camera? I'll figure it out. Okay, I know what to do. I know how to fix it. Watching someone paint is so soothing. I need blue. Like a very deep, nice blue. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna turn it around because it's just hard to do it the other way. Are you guys having a peaceful day? That's nice, Mogelix. Hope you have a wonderful time with family. Okay. This part needs a little bit more pink, I guess. Or maybe it's nice that it's not fully Hey Pebble Main. It's coming together. Thank you, Retract. That's nice. We will continue on it tomorrow. Yeah, for sure, Retract. Hope family is good and that you're doing well. God, my posture. Does anyone have like posture training? I've always been lucky in the sense that I have my birthday in the summer on 9th of June, so never, like the Christmas stuff never happened to me. But happy birthday, Mogelix. Thank you for being here. Have a good time with family. Okay. Damn, it went from peeled lemon to whatever this is. I feel like this embodies the music that is playing. I don't know if you can hear the music. Yeah, I don't know what the rules of World of Warcraft hardcore is, Mogelix. I know I'll be playing with Athene, of course. That's kind of the idea. Looks excellent. Thank you. Yeah, it came together somehow, some way. I don't even know what I was doing. See, isn't that the beauty of life? You may not know what the hell you're doing, but somehow, some way, in the end, it all comes together. You just gotta keep at it. Isn't that beautiful? And this is where I accidentally pushed the painting down. Alright, I'm gonna make a cup of coffee. Yeah, it's like, it's the music has that vibe, the painting has that vibe. I wonder if it got inspired by the music that we're playing to. I'm not sure. Where did I put the lid for this? Huh? Huh? Where is the lid? Huh? What the hell? I mean, how many places could it even be? Not so many, right? Good morning, Craven. How are you? Hope you are doing well this morning, this fine morning. Yo. For real, for real. Where the frick is the lid for this? Where did I put that? It's nowhere to be found. How is this possible? Did it not have a lid? Of course it had a lid. Or it had a lid, I'm pretty sure. Okay. I gotta ask myself, if I put off a lid and then I do that, where would I put it? No one around to blame either. It's on some shelf probably. Maybe. Could be. Okay, let's close all the other ones in the meanwhile. Very strange. Is it in this box? No. How strange. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's make a cup of coffee. cup. It didn't drip from the painting, that's nice. Is it in the bathroom? No. It's gone. It just disappeared. You know what? We're gonna be changing our bed sheets as soon as our other bed sheets are washed, so this will probably be the last day of these bed sheets. But let's make the bed while the coffee's brewing. And maybe the lid will show up. Can you tell that I love having a lot of pillows? When you sleep alone, the pillow becomes your man. I'm surrounded by pillows. Hell yeah. Nice, right? I love my bed. You know, I love my bed so much that one time, like when I bought it, right, it got sold out. And the reason I love my bed, I'll show you in one sec. The reason I love my bed is on the edges, it has this. It has these. On either side. And I love, first of all, I love like rotting, like this type of stuff. and so it's on the edge of the bed. And I waited for this bed because it got sold out, and I waited for months, and then someone returned their bed, I presume, because it was only one in stock again. The lengths I went to have this bed were unreal. When it finally arrived here, this is already years ago, many years ago, it had like the wooden panels of it smelled so bad. Like it was ridiculous. It smelled like it had been standing in a farm and that like 10 horses had pissed on it. I kid you not, or shat on it. Like it smelled like poop. Horse shit. Like it smelled like horse shit. Yeah, that's what it was. Horse shit times 1,000. And I was gonna go on like a month work trip, like traveling. So I was like, you know what, let's just unpack it and like air the room and air the panels and the smell will disappear. It's probably like a production smell or something or whatever. I came back after a full month of it being aired out and it smelled even more. My whole room was like a horse's shit smell. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What's going on? I had no clue. And then like the horse shit smell was there, like it gradually started disappearing, but like I wiped all the panels down, like I don't even know how many times, and each time it got a little bit better, but my god. For 2 years it smelled like horse shit. And to this day, I mean I don't smell it anymore, but to this day, sometimes, like very, very rarely, I can get a sniff of it if I move somewhere where I, you know, like, but maybe it's a phantom thing at this point. But yeah, it was pretty damn bad. I don't know what that was still. Wait, what? Okay, I'm watching. You know what I mean? It's just loosely on top. It's there, it's in the box. But I swear, I looked in the box. Thank you, Mogalix. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Look at you. You got me. Thank you, much appreciated. When are you having food with your family? For your birthday. Alright, let's find this goddamn thing. It should be here then. Oh, I haven't been taking care of my plants. Found it. There it is. Thank you, Mogalix. There we go. How do y'all like the morning streams? Are they peaceful? I guess they're so peaceful, everybody fell asleep. That's nice to see. Okay. Like, why am I like this? I don't know if you saw this. Why is there a water bottle like crumped up like this? I don't get it sometimes. What goes through my mind? Where I'm like, yeah, this is a good place. Well, I don't even think, yeah, this is a good place because I don't think at all. That's what happens. Okay. Oh yeah, the coffee. Ta-da! Let's see what we have. We have wake up, make our to-do list, which I did. I need to message Ella about the bike. Hey Zero, how are you? Let's see here. Hope you're doing fine this morning. He didn't reply. I did message him. We did weigh ourselves. 64 point what was it again? 64.4. Man, I gained. We did the painting. Yeah, I need to sort out my laundry. Let's do that. Finish up some work? Yeah, it's gonna be a productive day. For sure. For sure. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna get my clean laundry and sort it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. That almost fell. Whew. Stressful. Saved. We are back. Oh my god! What the fuck? You scared the shit out of me. Why would you just... I'm lying.
I know you're lying. I'm gonna start leveling.
Now,
Yeah.
is the setup set up?
Yeah.
For me too.
Yeah.
When you say yeah, it's really yeah. Or is it... Because it's gonna set me in a bad mood if things are not set up and it's a waste.
Like there is a camera and there's a mic, but
And is your mic in the way of my screen? Oh.
no, it's not.
No.
So yeah, I'm gonna start. I wanted to actually start an hour ago.
Why didn't you ping me?
I was talking to Nolan until now.
Ah.
So I'm gonna stream for an hour. Then I'm gonna eat and do stuff. Maybe have the AI. I won't be, because I have stuff to do. I have meetings and shit, right?
Yeah. So then why are we starting now?
Well, because I need to do now and again, or it's not gonna happen.
But that's not true. We start later and then we just go like we did.
No, it doesn't work like that. I will have meetings and stuff. I can't just be available like this. I need to squeeze in every hour I can, and just level.
Bro.
Yeah, I gotta.
If you want a solo level, you can just say that, you know.
So you can just stay live here and go live downstairs, or how does it work? Or you still have stuff to do?
Well, I still have some stuff to do, but like the laundry and stuff I can do later. But I didn't eat yet.
Well, you can eat later in an hour, because then I will eat too. We can just,
Sync up.
You have 200 people watching you. You're more popular than me.
It's 167, mind you.
It was 200 before I came in.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a raid?
No, I got rated for 11 viewers at one point, yeah. I think it was just a very peaceful morning. Hey, Toko. If you go eat, you will die again.
Well, that's why she's gonna eat with me. But yeah, I just wanna...
But bro, okay, so we moved downstairs.
Yeah, we'll just, I think we really need a flexible schedule where we just stream in between.
But
I mean, what am I, like, else am I, I'm a busy man now, you know? I can't just play fucking hardcore all day.
No, but we're not.
Well, I want to get level 20 by tomorrow if possible. Don't know if we'll manage to get that, but...
Do you think we should solo level? Because when we are leveling together, we're sharing the experience and it actually makes it, like, very slow.
I think that that what we're doing right works quite well, because right now it's slow, but once you can do AoE right, I will just be able to heal you and be your heal bot.
Mm-hmm.
And
what if we die? We gotta be careful, because it's not like, oh, pull everything and da 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 da. Even with AoE, I'm not a Zico.
But I'm a Thane though. I'm a good healer.
Yeah, and then you get aggro for healing.
Nah, it's fine.
What are we gonna do? We gotta really like think. There are also other aspects that we need to think about, like, you know, what professions we're gonna pick.
I already have 2 professions: tailoring and enchanting. But what I think is better than tailoring is engineering, though. I don't think, I know.
So I'll have mining and engineering.
No, like I will switch later on.
But why spend when we are leveling, right? And you
Tailoring, you need to wand. I just follow the.
But a wand will drop anytime.
No,
now.
no.
Yes, it will.
You like I will just follow the guide.
The guide is bollocks.
No, I will just do that and until level 60. Just don't die. That's all.
What if you die? What do we do then?
Then we'll start over again. But I really don't
Or
want to
will
die.
you quit if you die?
It depends at what level.
If you die at level 15?
No, I will keep going.
20?
I need to die at like level 40 or something.
Okay.
Then I will be like, fuck this shit. Yeah.
Okay, Mogilik says, I'm gonna be honest, the guide is actually really good and I do kind of agree with the theme. Okay.
Just don't die.
But okay, so what's the plan now then?
I'm just gonna go and level up for an hour.
But if you go, then I have to go too.
Yeah. That's why I came here.
Okay.
Do people want to see you level or they want to see you?
I don't know. I think a lot of people who are watching the stream are just kind of watching it as a secondary thing, you know, and not as it's not so active in the chat. They're going about their lives and doing their things. And it's on in the background because it's peaceful.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna order food because it's not gonna be ready for an hour anyway.
Sure. I didn't sleep so well.
Why not?
It's just this WoW shit is stressing the shit out of me, man.
Why?
Because it's such a commitment. It's a crazy commitment.
Do you want to stop?
I don't have the time. No, I need to keep doing. I need to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I will aim for level 60, and also the higher level, the more crazy I'm gonna be about being safe. I will literally fucking rather grind mobs than do a elite quest or whatever the fuck. I'll just stay really clear of death.
Alright, let's go then.
Let's go. Pew, pew.
Alright, everyone, I'll be live downstairs. You're sure my setup works? Man, I don't want to complain in front of the stream, you know, but like, it sets me in a bad mood.
You know what sets me in a bad mood?
My bad mood.
No, your face. Come on, let's go.
Unbelievable. Alright, I'll be live in a sec downstairs. See y'all. Be right back.